Hello everybody, it's me, Brony Joe. Got my another chapter for y'all, chapter 10. So get on the chapter. Yeah, and I'm sorry for these intro speeches are getting shorter and shorter. It's cause I really got nothing to say. Yeah. So yeah, but I will say something very important at the end of this video. So yeah, I'll get on with the story. Chapter 10, Pain Inside. I love you too, Spike said. Rarity's eyes widened, and she had to stop herself from gasping. Spike was looking at Rainbow Dash with a look of pure love. She despised it. She wanted Spike all to herself. She shouldn't have played hard to get with him. It was a stupid idea. But she always had Bib McIntosh. He was pretty open for business. When it came to her, she put a smile on her face and made an excuse to get out before she cried. Well, Rainbow Dash, feel better. I'll leave you two love buds to be together. She smiled before exiting the room. She slid down the wall and put her head on her hands, crying. Why did she do that? She would have been with Spike, but no. She had to play hard to get with the only guy she ever loved. She was stupid, and she knew it. No one needed this. The door opened, and Dr. Betty stepped out. Rarity wiped her tears and looked away. Rarity, I know how you feel. Every girl wants to be with Spike. Even the married woman. But you were the lucky one. Spike loved you and only you. Every girl was jealous of you because you had Spike, except you didn't notice or care. She said. Rarity looked up at her. She knew her mascara was running, but she didn't care. How long did he love me for? She asked. This was something she really didn't know. Ever since he came here to meet you, Rarity. That day Twilight Sparkle came to your house with Spike, he fell in love with you right then and there, Rarity said. Dr. Betty said. Rarity gasped. It's been years since then, though. And he's loved me, he's loved you for years. You've only just realized. I got a vibe of a couple weeks back, but I never knew that he loved me. I thought he just liked me. I wouldn't have mind being with him, so I played hard to get. You played with him? You played with my Spike? She said. You're lucky. I'm supposed to help people, otherwise I would be crawling your eyes right now. Goodbye. Dr. Betty left and Rarity stood up. She had to get home to be alone. She was an evil bitch and no one needed her. Rarity arrived home to Sweetie Belle sitting in her room, playing with her toys. She looked up at the sad, crying Rarity and gasped. Sweetie Belle was so innocent. She didn't realize a horrible place the world was. Rarity didn't want her little sister to live in a world this horrible. What's up, Rarity? She asked. Getting up and hugging her sister, Rarity looked down at the mess of pink and purple hair presented against Rarity's flat stomach. Nothing. Go back to play. Go back to your toys. I have some dresses to make, she said, making dresses would help her. She didn't know. She closed Sweetie Belle's door and walked to her room. Fabric rested against the wall, making it easy to just get straight into dressmaking. Pinky's dress was on the doll, ready to be sewed. It had pink flares, streamers wrapped around the torso, and the bottom cut out at the middle and tightened and puffed out enough candy to do was sew it. And Pinky's dress would be ready. She got straight on to sewing. She sewed it together, then put it to one side of Pinky for Pinky to pick up. So she then got straight into sewing the other dresses. After she'd finished them all, it was the next day, and she was exhausted. She quickly put Twilight's dress to another side, practically crawled to her bed, where she grabbed her silk expressive pajamas and slipped them on. She was about to fall into a peaceful sleep after staying up all night sewing when Pinky burst through the room. Rarity! Where have you been? No one's seen you or heard from you since yesterday. She giggled, her pink hair bouncing around. Rarity groaned. Dresses, they're finished. She groaned, her face into her cushion, putting her face into her cushions. Rarity, thanks! Pinky screamed, bouncing over and picking up the dresses. Oh, come on, Rarity. These are amazing. Get up. We need to have a party to celebrate your amazing dressmaking skills. Rarity groaned and sat up. Pinky, go away. I need to sleep, she screamed. Pinky gulped and her hair went a little less bouncy. She ran out of her room, dress in hand. Rarity sighed. She needed sleep. It wasn't her fault. She closed her eyes and fell into a deep, deep sleep. Rainbow Dash was sitting, rubbing her ankle. Spike was next to her, rubbing her back and smiling at her. Rainbow Dash was sad and Fluttershy could see it. She should be sad. Her best friend was upset, but Fluttershy could feel a sense of happiness inside. Rainbow Dash didn't deserve Spike. She was horrible. But Fluttershy loved Rainbow Dash like a sister. They knew each other since the start. Don't worry, Spike said. You'll get it next time. What if I don't, Spike? What if I can never jump as high again? Rainbow Dash cried. Spike hugged her. Don't worry, honey. You will. We'll make sure of it. You'll be able to jump as high again, he said. Rainbow Dash sighed. I don't know, but I believe you, she said. It made Fluttershy sick. How cute they were together. That it should be her and Spike, not Rainbow Dash. Fluttershy had hid away from love her whole life. She deserved it now. But once again, the most popular girl had gotten the guy, as always. Just like in school, Fluttershy sighed and shook her head. No point in making herself depressed. She stood up and left, not wanting to see them for a minute longer. Fluttershy? Where are you going? She heard Spike ask. His smooth voice, the voice she had fallen in love with. She stopped. Away, I can't sit here and watch this, she said. Before walking on, she left them staring after her, confused. When Applejack got home, she called Fluttershy. She didn't know why. She just felt like Fluttershy needed her. She dialed her number and then waited to the tone. Hello? A weak voice said, as if she'd been crying. Fluttershy? Applejack asked. What do you want? Are you okay? No. Spike and Rainbow Dash, they're together, and I hate it. She acts like she deserves him, yet she's a bitch and she gets all the boys. What about me? Fluttershy said, her voice cracking. Fluttershy, I'll be over right away, okay? She said. Fluttershy muttered in a quiet voice, okay. Before Applejack hung up the phone and pulled on her cowgirl boots, she walked down the road to Fluttershy's treehouse. She still didn't understand how Fluttershy lived in a tree, but it was beautiful, so she didn't argue about it. She climbed up the ladders and knocked on the door. Fluttershy opened it, her pink hair limp and sad, her eyes red with tears. Hey, Applejack. Come right in, she said. Applejack entered the tree house and sat down. Looking around, every object of furniture was made from wood, apart from the electronics. It was beautiful, just like Fluttershy usually was. Applejack turned to Fluttershy and captured her in a hug. I know you love him the most. You always have. But if she's happy, then you've got to be happy for him. If you love something, you gotta let it go. That's what they say, she said into Fluttershy's head. She heard Fluttershy whimper. I know. I should, but it's so hard, she cried. I know it is, Sugar Cube. It's hard for me too, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't matter, Applejack said. Yes, he does. I still love him, Applejack. I need some help to get me out of this get out of love with him, she cried. Applejack knew she had to help, but she didn't know how. She couldn't do anything to Spike. She still loved him, kind of, but she couldn't do anything to Rainbow Dash. She was her best friend, and she was too fast. What could she do? Well, everybody, that's chapter 10. I'm sorry I stuttered a lot. When I'm new to chapters, it like gets me off the record, and I start, yeah. So, anywho, the thing I had to say was that on the 9th of next month, which is going to be pretty close for some of you on the other side, like in Asia or Europe or Africa or Australia, wherever you're watching this, it'll possibly be the 10th when it's the 9th over here for you guys. So yeah, I'll be on the day before that. I will put up a Q&A, and it's like it'll be a back to school Q&A and all that stuff. So yeah, I'll see every pony later. Bye.